Good morning. Happy Friday. Yes, and happy first day of November. It is November 1st. It's a brand new month, and let me just tell you, October was crazy. I think I mentioned in another video that I actually wrote down everything that happened in October. And yesterday, my husband and myself put ourselves to bed around 6:42. We was like, we had enough with this month. It was all good. I mentioned capacity, pivot, stretching, all of the things. It was just a month that we had to move, do things, think, jump, you name it. And so this is a new month. I'm looking forward to it. And I want to tell you guys how I manifested a new position. I have been thinking about this concept and I've shared it with a couple of my friends, and I said I need to share it with you all. It is a way that I manifested this new position. It's a way that I manifest a lot of things, and how I do it, I'm going to share it with you today. It started because I needed a change in my career. And I was like, how am I going to do this? You know how to manifest. Like, Rhonda, you know how to manifest. One of the things I had been studying is timeline jumping. And I was like, okay, I know how I'm going to do this. The way that I'm going to do this is incorporate it in something that I have to do every day and that I will say over and over again, and that it will even be in my mind when I do it, and it will be constant. So let me let you in on the secret. But this would be a great place for you to subscribe and share, because I'm going to take you all the way to the end, but this is going to be good. And I'm telling you, I beta tested it and it works. Last year, let's start there, before I did the timeline jump. Last year, I knew I needed to pass my insurance test, right? My life insurance test. I knew I needed to do that. I had taken the test a couple times, didn't pass it. I needed to do it. I said one more time, God, I'll give it one more time. And if you say no, this is it. I'm walking away from this. What I did was I created a password that had this phrase in it: pass test. There it is. So you need to figure out your numbers, figure out your symbols, figure out your capitalization, figure out how you're going to throw a couple numbers in your letters. Like, what can you replace but pass test? And so every time I would put in that password in a certain place, it was playing over and over again. Pass test, pass test. You're going to pass the test. I knew it. You can feel it. And sure enough, I did. Now, let's fast forward. When I did that, I was like, you really did that. You really came up with a concept. It worked. You did it. You could call it happenstance. There was a whole other things that I've done. I have spiritual practice, right? There's prayers that I have. There's my cloud tribe that I call upon every now and then. You know, my mom's not here. She's passed away. Some other great people. Sometimes I'm like, y'all help me. All of that was in there. But password is your thing. And I know in the corporate world, we talk a lot about passwords. So I'm being very specific in how you have to figure out what your numbers are going to look like, because passwords are numbers, capitalization, a word. Sometimes they try to say, do not use a dictionary word, whatever you have to do, but this thing works. So when I wanted to timeline jump, one of my passwords was new timeline with some numbers and some symbols. And surely, every time I put it in, new timeline. And what was happening? Timeline was jumping, and I could tell that it was jumping because the opportunity showed up for us to go to Denver. New timeline because that's a whole different group of people, career, experiences. Things are changing. Things are happening here. Our life is changing. Timeline. New job, right? If you're looking for a new job, bam, new job. That was one of them too. I was like, I had enough. New job. Another password. So confident in the new job that one of the passwords was goodbye. And I recently said goodbye. There's some things that we are still looking forward to and we've passed it. But here's another way I did. I celebrated myself. So I have a password that said you did it. And that was just like, girl, I cannot believe that you manifested these things just by actually, because it's the sense of affirmation and saying it. Because here's the thing. If you look at teachers and they talk about manifestation and prayers, and sometimes you're asking for things, you're seeking things, but then there's this resistance. Either you don't feel worthy of it. I felt like once I started to create the passwords, because this is a thing that I'm using every day, different places, different times, that's a whole thing you're going to have to figure out. But we have, you can use your journal and, write it down over and over again. But I felt as though, because I did it with my passwords, there wasn't this period of time where you had that the thought of resistance. It was just instinctively, let me put the password in. And then it's becoming ingrained in you. And next thing you know, you're like, okay, I'm embodying this thing. This thing is coming. And every time you hear it, new password, your number, blah, 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 you're like, okay, this is coming. And surely today, new month, November, we are living an incredible, amazing opportunity. And I just keep thinking about every time like a new conversation comes up and how this whole thing switched. My life switched. It switched when I made this decision to start to look at the new timeline. Coming back from Denver, going to Denver, actually, there was a man in front of us on the airplane. He was coughing a lot. I wanted to go to sleep. I could not sleep. I prayed. I was right outside I was near the window where I can see the wing, and I just prayed the entire time. And I just said, God, whatever you're going to do, I trust you. If you want me to stay, but if you want me to move, I'll go. And no sooner than I came back, it was a message and an email, and things flipped immediately. And next thing you know, I was having to show up in places that I've never showed up. And today I have to share this with you all because you're my peeps. And thank you to all of you that have joined and you have been sitting here. And sometimes I give you just tutorials. And at the same time, I'm giving you life too. There's some goals, and I keep saying this to my family because they know me as mom and sister and honey. But before I was all of those things, I was Rhonda. And in my younger years, I had major goals. And I put those to the side to do family, to raise children, to work and do the best that I can do. But they're still a part of me. And there's some things that I'm like looking at, like, hey, you still can do that. You still have time for that. And then my husband and I, like, ever since we got married on our honeymoon, we had our vision board. You can see my vision board in the back, but we had put a vision board together when we first went on our honeymoon, and we talked about all of these things that we want to do. And every time that we're in the car together, which if you know us, you know that we're together a lot. We talk and we go in these imagination trips about we want to do this, and what about when we go here and do all of these things. So I wanted to share this with you all so you can hear my excitement because I am still like, I cannot believe all of this is happening. Amazing opportunity. And I feel like the Lord, it was so many no's, if I can tell you, before this happened. And then the door just knocked, and it was like, God is like, I got something better for you. And he does it all the time. He does it all the time. So I wanted to share that with you today. This is about password manifestation and just looking at what you desire, and don't tell a whole bunch of people, I'm sharing it with you, but a lot of people don't know, but I'm sharing with you. And when I say don't tell a lot of people, don't give people your passwords, of course, but just incorporate a way that you can put those passwords in place, because what's happening is you're saying it multiple times. You're subconscious is hearing you, things are changing, and then that resistance goes away because it's almost just instinctively like, okay, goodbye, right? It was a goodbye. And it was so funny. I even told my grandma, I was like, Grandma, they don't know. One of my passwords is goodbye. And I have to get over there to talk to her this weekend, but legit, it's a whole new thing. And I wanted to share it with you all. So that is it. My hair looks crazy right here. I just wanted to share that with you all today. Hopefully this helps you and that you step into greatness this November. As we say, we are praying because November, there's a whole lot going on with elections and things like that. And I'm even holding that place in prayer and with a manifestation word for safety, for protection, for God's will, for it just to make sense for us all that we're taken care of in a way because we all have some amazing things to do. That is all. I wanted to share that with you today. Take care. Be blessed. Have an amazing weekend. I'll talk to you soon. This is a different view of our videos because I wanted to shake things up a bit. You guys be blessed. Take care.